Hey guys, thanks for watching. This is Dylan.
I'm Quinn.
And we are back finally. And don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon.
Ding.
So you know when we drop a new video, because it is at the most random times. And don't forget to check out the website at www.broken.picturesno.com.
Yes, and now have to dust it off. This is your spoiler alert. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So if you haven't seen it, go watch those first 3 episodes. Unless you like being spoiled, you have been warned.
Yes, you have.
Can I move
All right.
now?
Yeah. So I guess just a little housekeeping. Like, we haven't, if you come across this video, and I don't think people actually even watch these things, but just for whoever might be out there, we basically just do discussion on episodes or movies or whatever we like. And we were doing WandaVision. I still haven't edited the last episode because life, and we're just dads who like things.
We're dads
who want to talk about stuff. So and I don't have an editor. I do it all myself, and I work, and so yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how to live stream and make it easier, and where we can just do this and a lot more consistently and everything, and all that kind of stuff. And what could help is if you'd like to sponsor a video or the channel or whatever, or be a patron or whatever, that would be super helpful, especially if I could hire an editor or something where we could just make videos and whoop, get them out there. They would be a lot better quality and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, just hit us up on the website if you're interested in that, or in the comments.
Yeah. We're talking about things that are comments, but
yeah, we love comics.
I wore too much black.
There's a lot of black.
There's a lot of black.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hold on.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that helped a little. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now you can see my shoulder. All right.
All right. So I fixed Quinn's black problem.
Just one of them. We still have others, but it's okay.
Speaking of segue, the creators of this show have promised to go into the Black experience in America and deal with that through Falcon's eyes. And we saw that in episode 1 in a big way. And this is the midpoint discussion. We're just jumping in. There's only 6 episodes in this season, so we weren't able to get to episode 1. So we're just jumping in halfway, and we'll probably jump in at the end and talk about it. And then after that, Loki's on the way, which is that's my bread and butter. I love the weird stuff. I love this spy stuff too. But man, I love the weird stuff.
Spy stuff's fun, but time travel is more fun.
Yeah.
Oh god. Timey-wimey and Owen Wilson signed me up yesterday.
For real.
But that's Loki. That's further down the line.
Yeah.
Right now, we are talking about Falcon.
All connected.
And Winter Soldier.
Yes.
So
episode 1.
Episode 1.
Not even Falcon can get alone. And we find out pretty quick the state of things after the blip, and I think they said this is like 6 months after everybody's come back. So we're kind of settling in, and now we're really starting to see
life.
Yeah, show its true face.
Yeah. So everybody who was an adult during the blip, like
dude straight up told him, "You don't have any income for 5 years."
I was gone.
She's like, "It's kind of hard to make money when you don't exist."
He was just like, "Sorry, bye."
Oh no, it was more like, "Sorry, bye." Can I get one of you? No.
Smile. This is for my OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Dude, freaking Bad Baby from
yeah.
Dr. Phil's show made like $6 million and like overnight or something. Like, God,
Yeah.
what are we doing with our lives? Like, what is?
Oh no, Dylan, we're not hot. What do you want from
I mean,
me?
we're also not underage.
We're also, she's 18 now.
Is she? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's why she did it.
It's okay. Maybe we should just start making this like a beers and beers and talking. Or we just get drunk and say stupid things. That'd be more entertaining. Or we might we maybe just get on Twitch and live stream and see who's up.
See who's up. Random.
It's a lot of time. Like right now, it's almost midnight.
Random children in Sweden. Oh, that's funny. Eating.
Oh, Bad Baby, I know her. That was a horrible accent. Ghost is here. He's got relatives over there in Eastern Europe. Gustav.
Yeah, Falcon's dealing with life. His sister who wants to sell their family's boat, but he's like, no, don't sell the boat.
Oh, life. I thought you said wife. I was like,
no, life.
Married.
Yeah,
that's why he can be a superhero.
Yeah, that is like, also why.
Yeah, I mean, even Hawkeye has to go home sometimes.
Hawkeye retired.
Yeah.
And then he came out of retirement. He's like, I don't have a family. I'm gonna kill.
I mean, just a little rabbit trail. Like that is the most unbelievable scenario. It's like his best friend is Black Widow and his wife is just like, hey, Nat.
Hey, Nat.
No.
Also, yes. Because I'm like,
comic books.
Yeah.
And you wonder why we were treated in comic books. They're so much better than real life.
How are they just so? I don't know. Yeah, they're way too cool. Way too cool for me. I was like, this is the weirdest situation.
Yeah.
What sort of weird secret? Never mind. All right.
Don't want to know.
Falcon's dealing with all of that. Because I mean, his sister, she was holding everything down for 5 years. He was gone.
Yeah.
So she was doing that, raising kids, and I don't know if their father was around before and he was gone or what happened. But
I personally enjoy the fact that Captain America was from Brooklyn, where I lived, and Falcon is from New Orleans area where I also lived.
Dylan's just Captain Hoppin'.
Man of the world. of America. Man of America.
Man of America. I don't have anything else for that.
Oh, we're delirious. All right. So,
yes.
Okay. So, life.
Life hits hard.
Yeah.
He learned that life hit hard.
Feels a lot like the past year.
Yeah. And he also learned, like, even though I'm like on the top, I helped save the universe and everything. It's still this right here. That made me hate. Hate. Yeah, that made me hate Falcon less.
That's a strong word.
You have no idea how much I do not like this one. Like, to my core. I did not like this. Ugh.
You don't like the Falcon.
I did not like the Falcon character.
Is it just because of the type of character he is?
It's the type of character he is, and he could be so much better. But it shows when he does Falcon things in here. No, the best example of especially Falcon in the MCU, why I don't like him.
Is it just MCU Falcon, or is it just strictly comic book Falcon? Just Falcon?
It's MCU Falcon. Like, some of the comic versions of Falcon, some of the newer ones are better. And then I also just kind of enjoy seeing him get beat up. But it's a whole nother thing.
I heard Clarence lives with his parents. Really nice marriage.
He was doing this before we started recording. But literally the first scene we get Falcon in, he gives away the shield. He's like, yeah, the shield isn't for me. And how could you not think that the U.S. government, the same U.S. government that was like, yeah, we're cool with segregation for right now, and all and everything else,
get away with it,
yeah, and everything else that they've done, that they would not like take the shield and just pass it off to somebody else. Like they straight up, you put it in the museum, you thought it was in there. It's like, oh, this is nice. But you know what this would look better on? Another Captain America.
Oh man. And like the whole like the cinematic feel of it, where it felt like a funeral. They put the shield in a box, like a little coffin type thing. And then very next episode, they're like unzipping a body bag and it's the new Cap uniform in there. Man. You did the right thing.
You did the right thing, son. America.
Knowing full well, like, they've got that video of John Walker throwing the shield. Like, that dude has been practicing. They have been setting that dude up. Like, going through who can we make the next Cap, way before Sam showed up and wanted to give the shield back.
Yep. They found out that old man Captain America, who did some real time travel shenanigans, gave the shield to him, and he was like, oh, wait, hold on, wait. We need that. Yeah. Even Rhodey was up there, was like, yeah, no. Why'd you give this up, you idiot? Yeah. And then Bucky shows up. Why'd you give this up, you idiot?
He's like, you're not going to come over here with your overextended life talking about my rights. But you know what? Cool. The big three.
The big three. What's the big three? What is it?
Androids and wizards.
Wizards?
Yeah. Okay. He's like, wizards? And he's like, yeah, it's just he's like Doctor Strange. He's like, he's a sorcerer. He's like, a sorcerer's just a wizard without a hat. Think about it. Like, I love that. I love that part of Sam. Like, as a person, like, I could be friends with Sam. Like, I like Sam. Yeah. I also like Bucky. Like, the whole Lethal Weapon feel, like, rewatching Sebastian Sam play Bucky, and just the looks that he gives. Like the eye cuts, and like, man, and like the scene where he's under the truck and he's like, that little girl kicked your ass, and he's like, ah! He doesn't even say anything, he just growls at him. Oh, I'm loving every minute of that. Every minute of that.
And that, why the frick didn't he get on the goddamn semi and fight? Oh, Falcon.
Yeah, he kept trying to like fly.
He kept trying to do Falcon things. Yeah. You're not a bird.
Yeah, like trying to fly up the lane of traffic. Like, whoop, can't fly. There's a car coming. And he's like swerving out. And then he, like, I guess he thought that he was saving Bucky by swooping in under the truck and point. I don't understand.
Bucky could just one arm that message and throw himself back up. That's a vibranium arm that I'm pretty sure has some secrets in it.
Very possibly.
Man could probably just click his teeth and then
what? He's got a speak Wakandan.
He gotta click his teeth. And then some goddamn vibranium come out, and he come over here in a goddamn White Wolf outfit.
That's a whole nother thing. It's like, I love how they're bringing Wakanda into this. Yeah. It's like, you're so sneaky. You've been in Wakanda for 6 months or whatever.
White Panther. Yeah. It's actually White Wolf. And he's like, what? Hold on, wait.
I would love to see a White Wolf outfit.
Yes.
That would be super cool.
Maybe. I mean, there's only 6 episodes, so there's only so much story you can tell within that time. But, like, Sam ended up
unless they get another season.
Sam ended up retaking the mantle and becoming try not to burp, excuse me. Becoming Captain America. And Bucky, like, straight up getting like a Wakandan battle suit would be amazing for the end of the season. Ooh. Then propel them into the next season.
Could you imagine, like, Captain America with a double citizenship in Wakanda and America?
I feel like he has it
That would-
already.
That would be
Yeah.
super cool.
Second, he said, "Get this man a shield." It's like, yeah, you're a citizen now. You
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh. That made me sad. God, I got sad.
Oh, so I know we're jumping around
Yeah.
a lot. So just bear with us.
Bear with us.
This is the discussion part.
uh,
So there's a running theory that Isaiah, who we met,
Isaiah Bradley.
yeah, man, that was amazing to see that on screen.
Tears. I didn't have actual tears, but inside I was like, oh, they did this for real.
30 years for being a hero because he took the suit with him and pretended to be Captain America in the comics, right?
Yep. He. And so they threw him in jail.
Mm-hmm.
They threw him in jail, experimented on him, and he is kind of going to something that's later on. He is the reason that these new super soldiers exist now. But
yeah, the whole
Yeah.
like Tuskegee experiment thing element of
Yeah.
that is
it's so messed up. Like in Marvel, the MCU and Marvel in general, they a lot of things that have not deeper meanings, but they're like that can go into deeper discussion. I think they're like skipping on it, like skip a rock on
Marvel's
some
always
water.
been good about that.
Yeah, like they'll skip on it and not dive too deep into it because they still, I guess want it to be entertaining in their way, but still have relevance to it. So they gave him a scene, and he's here. The person who answered the door was his grandson, and if you read the comics, his grandson is Patriot, and also
another young Avenger. Basically, Hulkling, I think, is the only one we haven't seen, which is basically lined up for Secret Invasion.
Yeah. So just give it a minute. He'll appear. So, I mean, shoot, they could just have him show up in the movie. I mean, in all honesty. Who was one like, no. I guess Hawkeye. Thinking back, Hawkeye was the only one that he made an appearance, but he wasn't in anyone's actually movie until Avengers. He made an appearance in Thor. Yeah. He did the, and then he walked away, and that was it.
Yeah.
So they could.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so the whole Isaiah thing, so we know the shield is vibranium. It is from Wakanda.
Yep.
And like any vibranium, Wakanda owns it. Like they have a claim on it. It came from their land.
It's theirs.
Yeah. So one of the running theories is that the super soldier serum was also appropriated from
Wakanda.
Yeah, from the flower.
From the flower. That would make sense in the way that the MCU works, because they kind of tie these little things that anywhere else in their existence aren't really necessary together, but they want theirs to be extra tied. So super soldier serum, German guy happened to find the flower along with a little patch of vibranium.
Yeah, because I mean, where did the vibranium come from?
Yeah. So either somebody snuck into Wakanda, or they had another traitor in the past, which is also possible.
And of course, they would try to improve upon by the Vita Rays and making Cap the big macho guy.
Roll my eyes, shake my head, but yes, because I mean the flower in Wakanda when Black Panther took it, when T'Challa and T'Changa and everybody else took it.
Shuri at some point.
And Shuri at some point, yes. I got sad again. And Shuri at some point, it doesn't change their body. It just gives them all the strength and everything, but they stay the same. They look the same.
Yeah, so I mean, basically the super soldiers in this series are just like that.
They're just like that.
Yeah. Basically refined it down to the Black Panther serum.
But the Captain America, the one that he took, which is also the same one Red Skull took, had that weird adverse side effect of like it brings out your innermost personality and makes it your the way you actually look, which is okay. I'm not signing up for this, but okay.
Who I would love to see
return.
Yeah,
me too.
Especially since it's what's his face now from The Walking Dead.
Yeah. They don't like us though, Dylan. It's fine. Which is why Red Skull turned into I am the Red Skull, and why Steve Rogers, who was as skinny like the size of my pinky, turned into Captain I Got Jack Swole because gains for life. And yeah, he was like,
there's a Jack Sparrow pun in there somewhere. I just have to find it.
And so the doctor who made the new super soldier serum, who also got snapped away, was just like, yeah, I don't want that weird superhero mess side effect. I just want somebody to take it and then they'd be dumb strong. Because even the girl and the guy, I can't remember their names right now, who were talking, they were outside the thing in the car.
Kari Rosenthal or something like that.
Yes.
It's not important. You know who we're talking about.
Yes. The bad guys with the mask and the hand on the face.
Yeah, the Flag Smashers.
The Flag Smashers.
Who and she is a remix of the original comic character. She's a gender bent version. Same last name and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering. I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, because Flag Smasher in the comic was one person who basically had similar theories.
So yeah, similar ideologies and World Without Borders. But yeah, they talk about a fever and like their veins feeling like they were burning and everything, which is what, T'Challa went through when he took the thing and they buried him in the sand. He had to go through that whole thing. It was just safer when they did it. Other way around. Safer when he did it. They probably did it somewhere in a room with a mattress that you shouldn't sit on. I mean...
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of those... camps where her mother figure got tuberculosis.
I felt a chill. I don't know what the chill was from. Either Dylan's house is haunted or I know.
I mean, we do have a ghost.
Get out of here. I was about to get up and leave, and then I realized he's talking about the dog. Yes. But yeah, there's that as well.
So, speaking of super soldier theorem, super soldier theorem, super soldier serum, somebody that we could see return, because we've seen a lot of people return in this series. I mean, we've seen, obviously Sharon, Zemo, who is a little bit different than he was before.
He's better, and that's what he actually means.
He's more true to his comic character, but I don't know if that kind of takes away from the fact that he had nobody and now he's Bruce Wayne and he was
always a Baron. That's what he said.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, like ways and means, like how he got all these things to these places and stuff.
And his mission of like destroying the Avengers was like, it was just supposed to be in Civil War. It was just like, he get in here, he got this information. His backup the whole entire time was Winter Soldier, so he didn't need to hire anybody else.
Yeah, but I mean, in Civil War, like his background was that he was like the leader of this kill squad, and that's why he was lethal and all this stuff. There was no hint of Baron and luxury or anything like that.
Because he was also depressed because he was from Sokovia. If you want me to BS my way through it, I mean,
King BS over here, make it work.
And then he's been in prison for so long, and it's like, well,
reading Machiavelli and playing chess as all villains in glass cages do.
They do, don't they?
They do.
They really do, huh? I just want him to get a crown. That's all.
I mean, he got the mask.
He got the mask. He got the fur.
Mhm.
I mean,
is pretty cool.
He's missing a sword and a crown, and we're here.
Yeah, living it up in the nightclub. Which Marvel released a 1 hour cut.
Yeah. The Zemo cut is here, y'all.
Yes. It's so good. They know how to party.
I know.
That's snake venom. Good stuff. So yeah, back on track with people that have showed up in this series. Almost every episode we've gotten a major person to show up from the MCU or somebody new.
Or someone who showed up in the past Captain America movies. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, from Baltrock the Leaper in the first episode, and then.
Thank you, George St. Pierre. You're not going to watch this, but thank you anyway.
Oh, MMA guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a badass. So other people we could see, General Thunderbolt Ross, who was mentioned in the end credits, like, you know, when they disappears or whatever, and it talks about some superhero laws or something. I forget what it says, but
Sokovia Accords?
No, it's something else. It's some kind of legislation. So when before the blip, he was, and so he's also, he might be my number one pick for who the power broker is.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Because here's the deal. From the very first movie, whoa, that was a big pop.
It was. Sorry.
He's trying to recreate the super soldier serum. Made Abomination, made Hulk, made Banner, not made Banner, but made Hulk, and then shows back up Civil War and Infinity War, and he was Secretary of State. He's climbing the ladder, but then he was blipped. So
he was?
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
It's confirmed that him and Sharon both were blipped.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he comes back after the blip, and he's obviously not Secretary of State anymore. They had to fill the position. Out. He could have been pushed out, and
they had a whole election during the blip. This was 5 years. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so also in episode 3, John Walker is talking to Battlestar. Stop the car. I'm out. Bucky's my spirit animal. So so he tells me, you know, this one's going to be more off the books, you know, and because he was like, we've done everything we can. Langley has done everything they can. He said, well, we'll have to bet on somebody with a better hand. So that's probably talking about the power broker, because in the comics, the power broker is the one that gives them both of them superpowers or super soldier serum.
Yeah, which I'm curious, because they're still calling him Captain America, but I mean he's
already showing these flaws, and you know who I am and all that.
Yeah,
which he's like the most violent version of Cap you can think.
So I mean. He is. I mean, by the end of this, I feel like he's gonna take the moniker of the U.S. agent. But I'm curious.
Just the opening in of episode 3, where it's the GRC and how these great things they're doing, and then immediately GRC police van pulls up, opens up, and their agent. Him steps out, talking to cops not to let people breathe.
Yeah.
Don't give them an inch. Don't let them breathe. And so I just like, just
he is
this past week too, with the trials on and everything. Man,
worst version.
Yeah. So they're playing on that big time.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
And also with
what you were saying with the Red Skull is like it brings out the worst And that was one of the reasons why Erskine chose Steve, because it magnified the qualities of that person.
Qualities, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever those qualities are, and he had good, it magnified those.
It turned him into Captain America. Man who said, all right, there's an army, let me tighten my broken shield and walk over here and fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was worthy and could pick up the
hammer and jack Thanos in the chin.
Yep.
Twice. Yeah. Wow. I got sad again. All right. But so there were 20 vials. That's what the dude said. He said there were 20 vials of the serum. She took them all, but also the power broker maybe has some. Is the way that it sounded, or the power broker wants them to get the serum out of them? Because the power broker's searching for him.
Right, yeah, because they took what was his. So originally there was a storyline that had to do with some global pandemic, and that was before Corona hit, and so they nixed that quick.
Nixed it hard.
Even though I think they probably should have kept it in there, because and during episode 2, I think it was episode 2.
This past episode.
Yeah, where he gets on the bus and he finds what's her face, and he's like, oh, they're stealing vaccines and this and that. And that was kind of part of that was left in there, and they kind of dropped that. And then the character that died of tuberculosis, she had a much bigger part that was kind of tied to all that too, and they kind of cut that. So that might explain why some of it seems a little disconnected with episode 3, because to me, I mean, like I love action movies, and I've studied them intensely and written screenplay with on screenplays, and this one is like it felt like a whole different genre. Like the guy that did John Wick did this episode, and it went from Jason Bourne type of action thriller to John Wick, and I love both of them, but they're way different. Those worlds don't mix. Because like you've got like major faux pas for action movies, like firing a gun next to the dude's ear. In this episode, it's like he can't hear you.
He can't hear you
it's
anymore.
like you just busted his eardrums inside a shipping container. Yeah, not only him, but everyone's ears are now ringing. And, yeah,
they should have been like, what? What?
Yeah, by a trained assassin, Bucky, who did this, and the whole breaking Zemo out of jail was just like, is this the Disney Channel? Oh, it is the Disney Channel. It was just way too easy, and like, oh well, we're just gonna talk through this because, yeah.
Some Ocean's 11s. We're gonna talk as it happens in front of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, it doesn't know what it is yet, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean,
it's also a little bit, I feel like they're pressed for time. They got 6 episodes, so like, we'll make it fun.
Yeah, so to me, it's like, why not just give it the 8 episodes?
Because they probably cut a lot. And maybe it was 8 episodes, but they had to cut things out.
I don't know. I mean, the Loki series, I think, is 6 episodes.
Pretty sure they put way more money into Loki than they did this.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. They had a lot of travel. I hope not. I hope that, yeah. Well, there's a lot of CG stuff in this one, and the flying and all that kind of stuff. I mean, they obviously...
The time traveling, the apocalyptic Earth.
Yeah, that's true.
The possibly female Loki that might show up.
Yeah, who is not Black Widow, although everybody thinks she is. She's not Black Widow.
That's weird.
She's, another actress who's confirmed to play an unknown character.
Female Loki.
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's Scarlett Johansson sitting on that rock with the purple sky. It's not. It's most likely Loki and female Loki at the end of the world.
As long as he didn't fall in love with himself. I bet money he does
Oh,
though.
dude, yeah, that's so par of the course for Loki. But anyway, back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Like for the most part, this is a pretty great series. I like it. I like how it's going. But this past episode kind of threw me off. It was just like a divergent into the world of John Wick, and it just kind of threw me off a little bit. Even though it was fun, it felt inconsistent.
I'm watching it to see Falcon get beat up, and it has not happened yet. That's the only reason I am watching it. Not the only reason, but everybody else is getting beat up.
Yeah.
Zemo's he ain't got beat up. But it's just Bucky. Bucky's the one getting beat up.
He's done some stupid stuff like jump 200 foot out of an airplane.
Yeah.
You know, that whole back and forth. I'd say it again. I love it. But also something else stupid that happened this past episode is Sam not turning his ringer off and or whatever. The phone ringing in the middle
turn his
of
phone off, period.
Like, I get that Sam's not as experienced in the world of espionage, but
that's common sense.
I mean, yeah.
That's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into, I don't know.
Yeah, don't break character, Quinn. Oh, are you okay? And he's just like, why are you speaking to me? Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I guess
those are my complaints, but there's so much. There's a lot of good about this series.
I guess the only other thing, Bucky's character arc is really good. I'm enjoying the fact that he's getting a kind of redemption. It's more torture than it is redemption. He's befriended the father of a guy he killed who just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Man, yeah, that's a good element right there.
He has Steve's book.
I don't know. I think maybe he was the mark.
The dad?
The son? The son.
Maybe.
Otherwise, how would he have known who he was?
Research. I mean, he could research. He could go back to massacre happened here.
Yeah, but is he going to every family of every person that got killed?
Innocently. I think he's going to the ones that he killed innocently, which is a whole bunch of wrong place, wrong time. He shouldn't be here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is there's a lot of collateral damage. Like that notebook. One notebook. One notebook per mission. Probably.
There's several pages.
Yeah.
I mean, we only see the same one page, and we know the beginning pages are Steve's notes because it's Steve's
not necessarily innocence, because we know that Zemo is on the list too.
I think he just wants to kill Zemo.
Maybe. He broke him out of jail.
He did.
He's got a weird way of saying it.
So the list looks like a mix of folks that he wants to F up and folks that he wants to redeem with, because the very first episode he was talking to his therapist, and then it was him showing up to the lady's car and hey, listen up, I'm Batman now, and yanking and all that stuff.
I don't wear hockey pants.
Yeah, so that's all that, and then he really wants to beat up Captain U.S. Agent.
Man. I like I like U.S. Agent. I like I can't remember his name, but he's
Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell. So I like how they're playing John Walker, because even when he first showed up, everybody instantly hated him. The fact his helmet looks oversized, like it's a costume, like he's pretending.
Yeah.
Just the thought of that is it's so well done.
Yeah. It doesn't look like it's, actual battle gear, which
it obviously is ill-fitting for him.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about the character, just the visual. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is really good. He has what the kids in the wrestling biz call heel heat, which, for those who don't know what it just means guy shows up, he does a thing, everybody hates him, you pay him more. But he's also gotten off of all social media because he's gotten so much heat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everyone's like, we
it
hate
happens
you
to
so much.
everybody. It's
It
like,
does.
but he's. I think that's a testament of like how good an actor is because you love to hate him.
Yeah,
It's like Ramsay from Game of Thrones and King Joffrey.
like he shows up, he does something, and he's starting to more and more. Like you see it when it's on missions, like you said earlier, but now more and more every time you see him in just regular public, he's doing something horrible. Not horrible. Like last time you see him is like, "Don't you get in my way."
Yeah.
Or stay out of my way, whatever he said. And now it's getting.
I mean, he straight up told Sam he was the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Sam was like, "How'd you find us?" "Oh, we're tracking you." He's like, "What? You hacked my property?" He's like, "Well,
it is the property of the U.S. government."
Yeah, and I'm. It's like, oh, so that I mean, man, just yeah, he's the worst version of Captain America, and it's so good. It's so good. It's perfect. It's such a statement on all that. Yeah, very well done. So as far as like, okay, Sharon, another issue I had was like, okay, so but here's the deal. There's a theory, and I forget. There is a video from Screen Crush that mentions where the theory came from. That's where I got this theory. So there's a theory that because Sharon seems weird, like she's Peggy's niece. Like she is female Captain America. I know in the comics, like she was brainwashed, she killed him, and all that, shot him up with time juice or whatever. And so in the comics, she was responsible for Cap's death, but retcon that she actually shot him up was something that held him in time or something. It was weird. Comics. He wasn't actually dead because comics.
Yes.
So, which I was glad because I was like, how are they going to do comics without Captain America? But anyways.
Beat up Falcon.
Pass the shield around.
But Sharon's weird.
Yeah. So now she's like burned. And so she apparently was blipped too. And so she was disavowed. But here's the deal. She was a SHIELD agent, worked directly under Nick Fury, was sent by him to watch Steve.
To keep an eye on her uncle.
Yeah. That she likes to make out with. She didn't know. But did she? Because of time.
She had to know.
So the directors say that it's the same timeline, but the writers say it's a different timeline. So that's weird mumbo jumbo.
She had
Hopefully
to
stuff
know.
with Fix and Loki that they'll set straight. There's a lot of messed up stuff. Like people want to talk about DC messed up, like Marvel's messed up right now.
Marvel's messed up. It's just they've done so much good you don't want to believe they are bad.
Yeah. Just like Cap.
Just like Cap.
They're on that pedestal. It's like a commentary of themselves. Wow. So then she went to work for, I think it's the CIA or FBI. No, it was the CIA because she was in a different country because FBI doesn't do across borders.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was disavowed because she stole the shield and Falcon stuff, his bird costume, and and so she says that she never got the clemency, she never got the pardon, but they did. They were on the run for 2 years, so there was 2 years between Civil War and Infinity War. And then she was confirmed to be blipped. So then she comes back, and what's she doing? I mean, she can't go home now. Like they're not going to give her a pardon. Like she's been gone. Like, so she just decides for the next six months, I'm going to become a major player. And like, I get that she's like this high ranking like a spy. She's Agent 13, but within 6 months, she has become like the art broker in Madripoor.
If Black Widow was a bad guy, she would be right there. So I feel like, yeah.
She's not Black Widow, though.
She's not Black Widow, though, but it's still possible.
She's still a B character.
She's still a B character, but she's the B character of an A character who is her uncle. And also, she's a Skrull. So.
Oh, then maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. So, this theory that I was talking about, personally, I think she's still working. That she is undercover for Fury, even though Fury's in space or whatever. Like he's still Fury. He's got connections. He's got people pretending to be him at this point.
Yeah. Because
we're only 6 months, and I think Far From Home, Spider-Man is
same time.
Yeah, like 9 months to a year because it's after the school year into the summer.
Yeah.
So we're in between that point where Talos is still pretending to be Fury, and so I think she's probably still Agent 13 and working it because she flip-flopped hard just in that one conversation with Sam where she's just like, blah, 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 I don't give a rip. I just do this now. And he's like, well, I can get your pardon. All that doesn't mean crap. I can get your pardon. Okay, cool. I'll be your friend. It's like, and
what if, hear me out.
Sure.
That whole conversation was being listened to and she was given instructions. And
she obviously works for somebody else.
She always works for somebody else. But she's being given instructions. She also is solely, like she was kind of not planted. She was there on the off chance that Winter Soldier, anyone who could potentially be a new Avenger or old Avengers, show up to make sure that they still got the gumption. She might have been sent to the criminal underbelly to find others, to like start rebuilding the ranks. Because Thanos is dealt with, but now that you know that there's one big bad out there, there's obviously another one. So you need to rebuild the ranks and find folks
who
can.
Fury thinks that's ready for the next thing.
Yeah, find folks to rebuild the ranks, and he so happened to run into Zemo, Bucky, and Falcon. Really, just two of those. Make sure that they're actually ready to step into that spot of, all right, you're gonna tag team Captain America's shoe. You each take one, and now you're gonna be the head of the new Avengers, kind of. And so she was just, seeing if that they were actually ready or who they were now that Cap is gone.
So there's this theory. I mentioned the Screen Crush video that kind of explains this theory. So back when Civil War first came out, this guy made a video, and not Screen Crush, but he mentioned the guy. So it's the theory is that she has been working for Zemo all along because too often is in the right place at the right time. Everything Nemo needed to happen. Nemo's. Where's my father? Everything Zemo needed to happen was only made possible because Sharon showed up and told somebody where to go at the right time, almost every time, and kind of gave that little push.
Well, that's a
and so it's either she was just the plot device, or she was working for Zemo, good God. She's working for Zemo the entire time, and she's still working for Zemo. And that's why she just happened to be in that bar when they were there, and she was like in her hood or whatever. But if she, like, why is she running around a hood if that's where she lives now? And if she's so well connected, why is she hiding in plain sight?
So either she was tracking them or she's hiding from somebody else. But I feel like she was tracking them.
Yeah.
Or him.
Yeah, because when they went in and shit hit the fan, immediately Selby was assassinated. So
was she the one that killed her?
I think so. Because, I mean, she immediately showed up and was like, come on, we got to get out of here. And then, so everybody gets it, like John Wick, everybody gets the text, oh, billions of dollars on their head, blah, blah, blah.
Which, hilarious. Now that you like told me he's the one that did it, it's also hilarious because I mean, you just copy and paste it a little bit, my guy.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit. So it's like inside the bar, like how did they even get out of the bar if that's the case, where the criminal underbelly, Madripoor, is like, I mean, it's like the top tier criminal underbelly are there. How did they even make it alive out of the bar with minimal scrapes, get out in the alley, and then press pause so we can have a conversation out in the open with windows everywhere in a town full of assassins? And then when we go after the scientist, now suddenly everybody knows where we are, and
all right,
and things happen to progress and things are destroyed.
Either that is true and Zemo is the power broker and he is just playing Bucky and Winter Soldier, and he has been and he didn't get blipped, I don't think. So he's just been in prison.
Well, yeah, he's been in prison now. I mean, we don't know if he was blipped, but either way, I guess if he was blipped, he blipped right back into his cell.
Right back into his cell.
That's gotta suck.
Probably with somebody else in there. He was like, "What the you doing myself?" Yeah.
If he's as well connected as it seems, then he's a kingpin type person, right?
Yeah.
He's running it from behind bars.
And he's just sitting there just chilling, still racking up money that hadn't been frozen or getting touched or anyway.
I know, right?
So obviously his money's still running free in some way, and someone's running it for him.
You blew up the UN.
And they didn't just kill you?
They didn't find out that you were a baron and had money and freeze your assets? Plot armor is thick.
The mask is thick.
It is. It's got its own facial structure. It just sits there and it's a face.
And the mask was just in the car.
Uh-huh.
Baron Zemo's the power broker. Because what was that mask just doing there in the car? Because he paused and looked at it.
Mm. Maybe that's where he keep it.
Maybe where he keep it. He didn't wear it all the time in Civil War when he actually went to a mountain made of snow and ice.
Where he would need that.
Where you would need
where he was doing undercover shady shit, and suddenly when he wants to kick ass in Madripoor, oh, I need my purple mask.
I need my purple mask. It's time. Where's my sword? I loaned it out. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another theory. Zemo, the power broker.
He's just playing them, which if you go with trends in the MCU, all the characters are already on the board, and we're not going to see any more surprises as far as the villains go. So it's somebody we already have in front of us.
There was rumors that we would see Tim Roth as the Abomination show up.
How are y'all going to beat that?
Maybe not. Well, I don't know if it's... maybe it wasn't this series. Maybe it is. Maybe it's for.
Love and Thunder?
No. It's She-Hulk or
She-Hulk?
something like that.
Okay. Because I'm like, how are they going to beat that? I mean, I would enjoy to see Falcon get messed up, but how are they going to beat that?
Vibranium arm.
Vibranium arm.
I mean, I would love to see him play Mercy with the vibranium arm and the Abomination, because I mean, vibranium just absorbs whatever you throw at it.
Also, where is Hulk in all of this?
And that's the same question that we had with WandaVision. Like, where are the Avengers? I guess a lot of them come back and they're now having to deal with their shit.
They're having to deal with a life, but Hulk was already, like, he was here. He was living. He's Bruce Banner now. They're one thing. Mm-hmm. Unless his thing...
Instagramming.
He's Instagramming. He has a whole arm. That's all... Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything else.
I guess, I mean, the only way I can think of it is like in the comics where you've got to have this earth-shattering thing happen for this one hero in and stay in his lane, but not have other people show up.
It's not big enough for somebody else to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like Infinity Gauntlet size problems. It's not a Ultron size problem. It's not a Master of Evil size problem, which is just multiple villains teaming up, which that still hasn't happened. Yeah. But it's just a one guy doing a one thing. Everybody robs a truck. Let Spider-Man deal with it type of thing.
Yeah.
Because like even... And this is where it's like really weird with comics. Because like say in Homecoming, if Vulture succeeded in stealing all of Tony Stark's tech that he was moving to the new compound, the Avengers would have a really big problem on their hands.
Right, yeah.
But then like it left up to a kid who Iron Man already said to stay out of it. And he just so happened to luck up and beat him.
Well, I think the reason they got away with that, and I think it was well written because Spider-Man handled it because the Avengers didn't know that
it was too close to the ground.
Yeah, they didn't know that it was happening, and he was in on it, and that's why he did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that kind of explains it for me. It makes sense in that way, but when you've got WandaVision, you know, that's an entire town taken captive, and Shield is there, Sword is there, and all these crazy things, and it's expanding. And Doctor Strange is like, "Oh, tea time!"
He's up there. Oh, I really like this show.
But as soon as Loki steps foot in New York City, he's like, "Hey, Thor,
where your brother at, Holmes? Fam,
yeah,
you need to get your man. Get your man. Get out of here."
Yeah. Keeps a list, my ass.
He keeps a list and watches. He's probably like, I know Hulk's about to turn evil. Just watch. No. What's Wanda doing? It's fine. Hulk's about to turn evil. Just watch.
Wanda. She's just having an episode.
Dark Hulk.
Literally.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Just keep watching Wanda. Hulk's about to turn evil now.
Maestro. Can we have all the versions of Hulk?
That might be what he's doing. He's like, my arm is useless. I need to find some way using gamma radiation to heal it. He does the gamma experiment. Split personalities. Here comes goddamn Flex walking out here. Just
Mr. Fix It.
That's all they have to do for me is let Gray Hulk walk like this. That's all they have to do.
Hold on. Who were the wrestlers that did it? Like
the Bushwhackers?
Yeah. Oh, I'm showing my age. Oh man, the bushwhackers. Oh my gosh. Whew, man, that was a nice little trip down memory lane. All right, so we got our power broker theories. Some people think Sharon's a power broker, but I don't think in 6 months she hasn't had time to set that up. She's not that badass.
No, power broker has fear throughout the world that these actual super soldiers are terrified.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's always watching. I mean, that's in Madripoor, he's judge, jury, and executioner from what Zemo said.
You need this many years, I feel like, or at least this many years to deal with that. And if this happened to you, that didn't happen.
There is one more theory.
What?
The Mandarin. Who we will see soon in Shang-Chi. Leader of the Ten Rings, who they've been seeding in other movies since Iron Man. Even in Ant-Man, one of the guys that was trying to get the Pym particles had a Ten Rings tattoo.
I'm gonna cry though. But also, yes.
And Mandarin could be very much a power broker type figure, where he's been running the underworld and has. The only argument about Thunderbolt Ross being power broker is that it depends on where he stands after the blip. To me, that's the only issue. But if he's trying to still be a public figure and run for office, there's no way he's the power broker too. He can't do both.
Red Skull did both. Well, there was a comic.
I mean, he didn't have a. Oh, you're talking about in the comic storyline?
Yeah, where he was like a fake senator. He had like a fake skin over his head, and he put into effect rules that like directly affected the Avengers. He like did stuff messing with the X-Men, and then like everybody reveals, oh, it's Red Skull.
But was he still being Red Skull on the side and running?
But you didn't know. Like, no one really knew because they all thought he was just fine.
Because comics.
Yeah. But, I mean, if Ross came back and he was like, oh.
I mean, he's got the connections and everything.
The U.S. government doesn't want me. They pushed me out just because I got disappeared beyond my own. Like, I didn't choose to leave. I was forced to leave. And you're just going to not let me come back and do my okay and then leave, and it's like, I'm going to destroy everything.
Yeah. Now I can finally make that super soldier serum. And because the guy that did it used to work for the CIA before he got blipped.
You know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Found out he got blipped too. Oh, hey, They didn't want you. I do. Come here. Give me that. Give me that good juice.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it could also be the Mandarin. The Mandarin wouldn't have to have a side gig. Like, he could do both and be the same person.
He could do both. And he's been in the shadows for so long because there was so much happening around the world. He's like, well, I'll just keep dealing with my little extra dark places of the world. But once this happened, it's like, the world's an extra dark place.
And Madripoor is like it's in that side of the world. It's like I want to say it's like kind of like a Hong Kong type.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought it was India. In my brain, I was like, this is like in the tip of India, like almost in China. I might be right, but I feel like I'm wrong.
Yeah, India's down there too.
Yeah. So, but yeah. And it could definitely be him. And he would, if he didn't get blipped, which I don't think he did, he had plenty of time. And then if he did everything right, he would stay off of the Avengers radar, which there wasn't really a radar to stay off of.
Yeah. I mean, with him
Because-
running around chasing down
Captain Marvel still dealing with stuff in space. War Machine running around doing what he could do. Tony being retired. Captain America being essentially retired. Thor being fat. Hulk being a professor and taking pictures with kids. Black Widow trying to run everything and like stressing out and eating a peanut butter sandwich like once a day. Just peanut butter, no jelly.
finally got a Black Widow date. Thank God.
Yeah, finally.
That's another thing is like how that has major implications for this series. Like there's a lot of missing pieces.
Yep.
And there's also supposed to be a scene with Thunderbolt Ross in Black Widow. So, I mean, it's the same connection, universe circles.
Yep. Saw still one extended universe, just COVID made it less extended for a second because you can't get those instant connections that you would normally get.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what this is.
Yep.
What else? Who else is there? Yeah, that's it. Hawkeye was running around the world killing gangsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
That's another potential connection to the Mandarin. Why he was in, I guess, Japan, knocking off the Yakuza.
Yeah. Also, it would have been really cool if Hawkeye was there. If like Hawkeye was there when he removed the mask, he just had a scar going across here, and
that would have been way better than the haircut.
It would have been way better than the haircut. And then Natalia? Who's Natalia? Natasha. Black Widow comes up, and he after he kills a dude, and then she'd be like, "What happened to your face?" And he'd just be like, "It was a guy with 10 rings." And then just one, like, that's it. Leave it right there. Go to the next scene.
Yep. Speaking of Black Widow and Hawkeye, Budapest, that we're probably going to get to see in Black Widow what happened in Budapest. Let's see. There was something else that I was going to mention that I can't think of. Anyways, we'll bring it up later in another time. Unless I remember it in the next couple seconds. But so yeah, 10 Rings, which is going to be kind of sucky without Tony, because that's one of his major villains.
His arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Just like they didn't give me Crimson Dynamo. It's fine. They hate me. It's fine.
But they did, didn't they?
Get out of here, Dylan. Whatever weird Russian whiplash, Crimson Dynamo fusion dance child that was.
Dance child? Is that
yes.
Okay.
Who got defeated with the little itty bitty rocket. It's fine.
Yeah,
That's all right.
Justin Hammer is another one that I think nobody's thinking of that could be
Hammer
power broker. Because I mean, if they brought, because okay, so the guy that I want to say it's the guy that's behind the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show was talking about how in an interview how people that have been gone from early first movies are coming back. Justin Hammer could very well be somebody who finally served his sentence and is now like a true badass after his prison time and not just a wannabe tryhard.
Or he didn't even serve his full sentence. Blip happened. They needed engineers to help rebuild or whatever for whatever reason. Him using his hammerness.
With Tony retiring out of that game, like that's a huge space for him to fill.
Like him retiring so much that he's just flipping off at everyone. Don't come to my cabin, leave me be. Mm-hmm. And so they had to find somebody to fill it. Mm-hmm. He was the number 2 right behind Tony. You help us, we commute your rest of your sentence.
Yeah.
Sentence got commuted.
Man, so I mean, there's so much. I think there's a lot of Thunderbolts action happening in the background, where Ross could be bringing in. He's obviously bringing. I want to say he's responsible for bringing, as the Secretary of Defense, that he's also responsible for bringing in the scientists to work on the super soldier serum, because that's been his baby from first appearance.
Because he wants to be one so bad.
Mm-hmm. And he is Red Hulk in the comics.
Yeah.
So he's bringing in the scientist. He's got Abomination. Baron Zemo is there now, and he's a lot more Baron Zemo than he's ever been before. And bring in Justin Hammer into the mix, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get Norman Osborn for Dark Avengers.
We'll see.
Even though, man, we could still be getting some Dark Avengers too, because Thunderbolt Ross with the Sokovia Accords is effectively taking control and moving the Avengers over here and painting and making them bad guys.
If they don't take out U.S. Agent in this show, that's your first. He changed the blue to like full on black, just that dark black and red.
He survives.
Yep.
I don't think they'll make the mistake of killing him off.
I hope not. I mean, it's also Marvel, but I hope not.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I mean, Battlestar too. I mean, don't forget Battlestar.
Get out of here.
Stop the car.
Stop the show. I'm leaving.
I think he's actually got a better head on his shoulders than John Walker.
He does.
At some point, he was just like, what, she's feeding refugees? Like, what do you want, man?
Translation. Can I get a translation now? That's just how he talks in my head. It's not how he talks, but that's how he talks in my head.
In the comics, he used to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's also how he talks in my head.
Basically just Big Papa Pump.
Listen up, I'm gonna hit you with the Steiner recliner. Oh, yeah. You tell me where the refugees are right now. Oh, Captain America. It's a me. Oh, you listen up here. Listen here, Kelly. I'm back home in my hometown in the stadium where I won a title, and you best believe.
If you stuck around, that was why. And all my tests were off the charts.
Yeah, the time it is here. I'm about to run up and drop my elbow in his chest.
Oh, man.
You're not the real Captain America. It is me. I am the cream of the crop.
Please just say good morning, America.
Well, good morning, America.
I felt that in my soul. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Okay. Send us money so we can make these spin-offs and mock-ups, whatever, spoofs. Oh, man. Or just let us write for Robot Chicken or something. Like, come on. Oh, man. Or just give this guy a voice job.
Give me a voice job. Ow.
Oh, so yeah. So much going on. Yeah, I really hope we see with him being mentioned in the credits. I really hope that we see General Ross show up in person in the show.
Yeah.
I mean, is there anybody else you can think of that we could probably see show up? I mean, Rhodey was confirmed. We saw him in episode 1.
Did Steve die?
They're acting like it. I don't think so.
I think he's at home watching this like, that idiot.
So, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier is the Russo brothers, the directors of the Infinity Saga, or Infinity War and Endgame, and Civil War and Winter Soldier and Arrested Development. So they say that Cap is still part of our timeline. Like it didn't create a splinter timeline. Like the timeline was restored. He went back in time and lived his life through our timeline. And just decided at that moment he knew they were going to be there, and that's when he was going to give the shield. However, the writers of the show of it that intended for the whole thing to be a splinter timeline that he lived in, and that solves the problem of Steve being the guy that can't say no. When, in Civil War, if I see a problem, I just got to do something about it,
Because of all the world's problems and him living all through it. And we know now, because of Isaiah, that he still has his strength. Like, he just looks old, but he can still throw a shield into a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that diminishes the character of Captain America, of Steve Rogers. Like, he's just going to sit back and trade his happiness. Like,
for world safety.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve it, but that's not who he is.
Yeah. Especially with the stuff that they dealt with. Like, there probably were a secret Avengers, if that's the case, with like him, Ant-Man, Hank Pym, and some other folks.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Old Peggy.
Peggy.
Yeah. I mean, show us old Avengers. Show us that one. That What If.
No, What If. Give me that.
Mm-hmm. So, because, I mean, that doesn't make sense for the character. That is not true to his character. He couldn't just sit by and watch all that happen and not do something.
Well, yeah, especially like the day Sam gave the shield away. He didn't show up at Sam's house. What did you do? And whoop Sam up? Yeah.
Or at least a phone call or something. Like, he just disappeared. Like, no.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it, Steve.
Yeah. The alternate timeline makes more sense, where maybe he was doing that in his timeline, but we never saw it because he's not a part of our timeline.
And if this timeline is the timeline, then what if this timeline that we're in, the 6 months before, Cap was the one that did this? And that would just mean Tony's still out there, but then that's a whole nother thing.
What?
Cap did the snap.
Oh, instead of Tony. Yeah. I mean, plus at the end of his life, why wouldn't he be the one?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many problems with that. So many problems. The more you think about it, the worse it gets.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if Thor would have survived.
That's a good question. I mean, he's a god.
If
Thanos cracked Loki's neck like nobody's business.
But
like
Loki was a
toothpick.
He was a frost giant, though.
Yeah, that's true.
And Odin, at some point in time, had to have the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least one or two of them.
I mean, well, he had a gauntlet, too.
He had a gauntlet, so he knows what...
Well, I mean, Hela said it was fake, but at some point, he had
to have had
because
something.
I think it said that he split them throughout space.
Because he had 3. There were, at least 2 that were there.
Mm.
Thor would have survived. Why the frick did Tony snap? All right, I quit.
He misunderstood.
Dr.
Fly up. Give me a moment.
He was like 1, and he didn't look back to see Dr. Strange was pointing at Thor.
Thor's flying in.
He's like, oh, okay, let me take these.
Thunder, lightning.
No, Tony, he's over there. Oh, Tony.
Gotta be the hero. I mean, blame Cap. He put it in his head, you're never the one to jump on the grenade. I gotta be the one to jump on the grenade.
Thor would have survived. I'm extra pissed. God dang it. Or let Hulk do this. Because Hulk would have survived. So many other people would have been fine.
Just use the other arm.
Captain Marvel would have probably... Oh, my God. I'm going home.
Oh, man. I mean...
I'm so upset. Literally, they had at least 3 people who could have did the snap and been fine.
They were busy.
They were busy. Thor threw Stormbreaker into a beam that was coming off of a gauntlet that had all 6 stones on it. It broke through it. He put it in his chest. And then Thanos still went, Thor would have been fine.
Might have burned some of that fat off of him. Speaking of theory, or Noob Master 69 has been revealed. Did you see that?
No. Oh, was it Wong?
No. That was like a fan theory though. But okay, so remember in Civil War when Cap and Natasha went to like the Apple store and the guy was like, can I help you? The guy with the long hair.
That's him? Hilarious.
Because there's an Xbox commercial where Falcon is going in to buy an Xbox for his nephews. And he is talking to this guy, and the guy recognizes him. It's the same actor, same character.
Yeah.
And then there's another clip where they're playing together, and he's like, "Yeah, do you play online?" And he's like, "Yeah, I play. I go under, find me at Noobmaster 69." So it was that guy.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Thor's arch enemy.
Thor would have been fine. Dylan, I'm done. I can't.
So Quinn's brain is broken. We've been talking for quite a bit. So I guess we're going to call it quits. And well, if life lets us, we'll reconvene at the end of the series.
At the end of the, season, series, whatever it is.
The season, yeah. And, yeah. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget, you can hit us up in the comments, or if you're interested in sponsoring or patroning, becoming a patron. That thing, see, it's so unfamiliar to us. I don't even know how to say it. So, anyways, appreciate you guys. And don't forget to like and subscribe. That also helps us get our videos out. And that's another way you can support if you're not able to in any other way possible. And just like and subscribe, and that'll help us get out there. And maybe more people will watch it. And maybe we'll actually hit our mark, and YouTube might start paying us at some point. It could happen. So yeah. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon.
Ding.
And I gotta hit my notes down. And that's it. So thanks for watching. This is Dylan.
I am Quinn.
And we'll see you next time. Peace.
Bye.